Hey guys, welcome back to Anewyoricanthing Kitchen. Today we are going to be making oxtails, and those are delicious. You need to boil it for at least 2 hours. It's a very tough meat. I had like a lot of cleaning to do around the house, so I just put my oxtails in a pot and just let it boil for about 2 hours. And as the water reduces, you need to add a little bit more water, within the 2 hours. So basically I'll be making about 1.5 pounds. So this is what I bought. They're the beef oxtails. I'm cooking today about 1.5 pounds. So we are going to need potatoes. So I did 1 potato, which was a pretty big potato, some carrots. You're going to need about 1/2 onion is all I'm doing, because I'm only doing 1.5 pounds, remember that. And I also have some recao, which I throw in there as well. Now the other thing you're going to need, of course, is sofrito. So we have 2 tablespoons of sofrito, 1 tablespoon of my homemade adobo. If you're using the store-bought adobo, use a little bit less because it is a little salty. My homemade sazon, I'm using a teaspoon of sazon. If you're using the store-bought one, you're going to use 1 packet. If you're making more oxtails than I am, obviously you're going to increase the quantity of all of this. And I'm doing 1/2 cup of tomato sauce. If you don't have tomato sauce and you want to use tomato paste, by all means you can do that as well, but I would only use about 1 tablespoon. So now I already started boiling my oxtail, so they're already in the water, so we could just go ahead. So once you do the 2 hours of making sure they're nice and soft, I'll show you what they look like now that they've been boiling for about 2 hours. Okay, see how the oxtails are, they're really nice and soft now, and they're going to cook an additional about 40 minutes because we're going to add the carrots and the potatoes, and we want that all to melt. Now when you're boiling your oxtails, do not add anything to it, simply water. When you add salt and other seasonings, it takes longer for the meat to soften. So I always build that flavor after I've boiled the meat. And I use that rule for even soups, stews. I don't put any salt or anything. So now's the time that we can start kind of building this up. And also guys, I did forget, you could add wine to this. It could be a red wine, it could be a cooking wine, it could be a little sherry if you'd like. That's also a nice touch. So basically now I'm going to add my sofrito. Just no particular order, just dump it all in there because it's going to start cooking. Sazon, our adobo, our tomato sauce, and I am going to add, I would say this is about 2 tablespoons of some wine. Didn't measure it, just whatever. Now I also have my 1/2 onion. I'm gonna put this all in, and it's gonna be so delicious. So I can't wait to have this tonight. Haven't had this in a long time, so can't wait. Then I'm going to add my carrots and potatoes. Look at that deliciousness. And I'm going to add my recao, which also gives it amazing flavor. So after this is cooking for a little bit, what I want you guys to do is taste it, because then you would add the salt and pepper, and if you want a little bit more adobo. So we just want to let this cook and get those flavors in there. This is going to come back to a nice simmer, which is what you want, not on a very high heat. You want your potatoes and carrots and everything to cook. So I have it like on a medium. I have an electric stove, so that's a medium. And I am going to cover it, but I'm going to leave it like this because I want it to vent and not boil over. So just, check on it in about 15 minutes, taste it, see if there's enough salt. And if at that point you want to add some salt, a little bit more pepper, you can. Okay guys, so you see how it's bubbling. The carrots and potatoes are almost done. So this is a little bit more liquidy than what I want. So what I'm going to do is add some flour. You can also add cornstarch if you'd like. So basically I have 2 tablespoons of flour, and I do it on the side. And let's say another 2 tablespoons of water. And you just want to mix that until it's nice and smooth, and you're going to add it to your stew. And what that's going to do is going to thicken up your stew. Because I don't want to make a soup, I want to make a stew. So I probably added too much water. It happens. No big deal. And I want it to be smooth because you want it to go into your stew and not get lumpy. We do not want lumpy. So we're gonna add that to our stew. Now that's gonna thicken it up nicely for you. Problem solved. Now's the time. It's been boiling for probably 30 minutes or so. So I usually add my salt. Of course, you're gonna do it to your liking and flavor. So start off little, of course, and if you need more, you add more. And then we're going to add some black pepper and some oregano. And again, guys, this is to your liking. So however salty, not salty, that's completely up to you. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of that in there. And I know my adobo has oregano, because it does, but I like to add a little bit more. And I always like to crush the oregano between my fingers. It really releases the essence of the oregano instead of just sprinkling it in. Ooh, this is gonna be so good. I'm excited. So I'm gonna let this continue to boil to thicken up a little bit, probably another 15 minutes or so, and this will be ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. Ooh, tastes good, but you know what? It could use a little bit more salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and add more salt, and I'll see you in 15 minutes when this is all done. Okay, guys, this is the finished product of the oxtails. He's already got a fork in his hand. I don't even know why. This is supposed to be dinner, but we are gonna taste it. And you see my sauce here, it's a little thicker, so I'm gonna have a piece of carrot too. He's going right for the meat.
Oh wow, it's a big piece.
Wait, I didn't even get a piece yet. How's this even working? How is it?
Very good.
He can't even talk.
Wow, you really outdid yourself, Chef.
Oh, thank you, son. You just say that because this is free food. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching Anewyoricanthing Kitchen. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you guys soon. Happy cooking.